Are you ready?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're ready. Deal with it. Ready? Next. You're next, by the way.
Emily, would you describe Red Cross and what you do for them?
Sure. I'm a donor recruitment representative for the American Red Cross. So that means I am responsible for recruiting the public to come into blood drives and handle everything from meeting with coordinators and explaining the details of setting up a drive to working with our regional headquarters on providing staff and equipment for the blood drive to help everything go off. I'm a little bit of a salesperson and event planner for blood drives.
Okay, and would you describe the process of the supply chain of blood going from the donor at the drive to the recipient at the hospital?
Sure, that can be about a 24-hour process. We sometimes need to turn around units from a blood drive to go to a patient very quickly depending on the demand, which is different from time to time during the year. We have drivers that can come during the blood drive and right after and take all the blood that was collected to a testing site. Our testing site here in Central Illinois goes to St. Louis. That's the closest one. The next closest is in Detroit. There's 5 around the country. And every day, thousands of blood drives are happening across the country, and they go through the exact same process. It goes to a testing site that day, and then is tested right on site. And then if everything is okay, the blood that is good to go is sent back to your regional headquarters. Ours is in Peoria, where it's split into different blood products. So when you take whole blood, it goes into platelets, plasma, and red blood cells. And we have techs that work 24/7 to separate those. And then they work with our hospital contracts in the area and find out, okay, this hospital in Peoria needs this many units, this hospital in Danville needs this many in Chicago, and so forth, and it's shipped out immediately, and that can happen within 24 hours if it's necessary.
And then can you describe a couple of problems that you may encounter during your supply chain?
Sure. The biggest problem would be definitely in the supply. Convincing the general public that they need to come in and roll up their sleeves and donate blood can be difficult, especially because we can't offer any incentive.
Okay, and how does that sometimes match with demand?
Well, there's different times of the year when the demand is higher, and that could be different from hospital to hospital as well. We can have a hospital that may have more surgeries scheduled for a particular part of the year, and so they're going to be requesting a lot more blood from us. During the summer months, and especially around the holidays when people are out of school and they're taking time off of work, so businesses aren't running blood drives either, our collections go way down, and sometimes the demand rises significantly. If people are traveling, and especially by car, there are more car accidents, and there may be more need for blood if there's an emergency health situation. So the demand can rise when the supply falls drastically. What makes the American Red Cross so great is that we are a national organization and we can pull from any other region.
All order in advance, or are there any reactive capacity kind of, we need it now, can we order it now?
It can be both. Basically the contract is established with a price. We can also offer discounts if they order a certain amount of units from us during the year. So larger hospitals, sometimes, I know it sounds silly to say there's a sale price on blood, but every business needs some way to be competitive, and that's the way we've been able to do it. I'm not 100% sure on when they put those orders in, but there can be last minute. They could have said for April, we need 2,400 units at this hospital based on emergencies we've had in the last couple of years. This is the percentage, that we're guessing we're going to need. These are the surgeries we have scheduled, so we're going to need that many units on hand. And they definitely over-order.
Okay, and my last question, what do you do if there are a lot of cancellations? How do you prepare for that?
Well, we are still held responsible for collecting blood no matter what. Acts of God, so like a few weeks ago, all the snow being dumped on us. We had to cancel a lot of blood drives, so we had to import blood from other regions to meet the demand because we had nobody running blood drives that day, so we lost a lot of units. So we tried to overcompensate a little bit by overbooking, and that seems to be the best way. Sometimes it can be an inefficient use of our resources, and we have to book a lot more staff and pay a lot more people to go to blood drives that may not collect as well, but we have to get those units. You know, at the end of any regular business's quarter, if they didn't come in where they were supposed to be, they would readjust for the next quarter and say, okay, here's what we need to do to make up what we lost with money. But with us, it's blood, it's hospitals, it's people's lives. You know, we are still working with a budget to make sure that we can meet the need. So, and sometimes the best way to do that is overbook our blood drives and to put way more people on the calendar than we really need.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So with both risk pooling and the bullwhip effect, it'd be ideal to have better sources of information sharing between all parties involved. That way there's better coordination between all of the Red Cross chapters in coordinating supply. And as far as the bullwhip effect goes, there's better coordination between hospitals, demand, as well as the Red Cross for blood.
To combat seasonality and high demand during the school year, our solution is to hold more blood drives that are smaller with about 25 participants in
Smaller
each,
batch sizes.
which results in smaller batch sizes.
Sorry.
When it comes to overbooking, we feel that they need to analyze, take into account what type of year it is, so that we can ensure that we have the right amount of blood for the people who need it. We need to take into account the costs we need to compare the costs that there are from not having enough blood to overbooking and the costs that go along with that.